stranger friends. We got authors, we got aliens. Even got a chat room for our friends. We got Gab, we got Ghost, we got the hostess with the most, Renee. Take it away, Renee. What's the subject today, Renee? Take it away.
To Renee Live, and I'm really excited to be here this evening, and I have my awesome soul sister with me, Nina DeSanto. I can't even talk. Look at my eyes. No, look at my eyes. My eyes are green tonight. They're
Why?
like, can you see it? I don't know. My eyes change color anymore. My eyes go between green and brown anymore, and sometimes hazel. It's really strange. Hi guys.
Okay.
So we're gonna talk tonight about some really interesting things. We're gonna kind of break some misconceptions and help out our other soul family and stuff in regard to those who are Wiccan or witches, and we're going to talk about spells and magic. We're going to talk about candle spells, different things that people have a little bit of misconception about, and Nina has some amazing information to share on that. She's one of the experts, and we'll call her Goddess Luna. I got that right? Goddess Luna?
Yes, Goddess Luna.
She is a goddess, and she's also the owner of it's what is it now? Kitchen.
No, it's KGN Organics now. We abbreviated the Kitchen Goddess Nina to KGN Organics.
There you go. And
Yeah.
so you're gonna have to check her out, and you're on Etsy.
I'm on Etsy as KGN Organics. So basically, we make a lot of organic skincare products, soaps, deodorants, things like that. But we also will specialize in personalized spell kits or candles. So, I prep the candles for you for whatever reason. And so we do a lot of other things. A lot of that stuff isn't posted on yet, but I'm working on it.
Okay, you're getting there. You have a big
Yeah.
event this weekend.
This weekend, I'll be in Allentown at the Mystical Health Expo at the Agriplex in Allentown.
Oh, okay, nice. I haven't been to Allentown with you.
No, I had to
No,
think for a second. No, you were in Dingman's Ferry when I did that
Bethlehem.
event.
And yep, Bethlehem and Dingsbury.
Yeah.
Yep, nice. So Nina, let's talk about the misconception that people have in regards to people who are witches and practice Wicca and all that.
Okay. Well, the biggest misconceptions I think that is out there is that, well, first of all, witches are Wiccans. Okay, Wiccan is a religion. It is a peaceful, do not harm none, you harm none. Even in any type of ritual or holiday, whatever it is, they're always based out of love and a lot of nature and goddesses and gods and deities and all that stuff, nature spirits. So it's a very warm thing. Hollywood has, of course, demonized the Wiccans, making witches to be these evil creatures, and that's not really true. Now, let's be honest, in every facet of religion, you're going to have the gray line where we call white magic, or we call it dark or black magic. And that exists in every single religion that is in the world. I mean, even Catholicism has the dark side of Catholicism. We know a lot of that shit's coming out now.
Right.
So, it just sometimes it's, people who practice, whether it's Wiccan or anything else, because there's different things, they right away will get very, they don't want to come out of their shell about what they do because they're afraid of people shunning them, blacklisting them, calling them crazy, and sadly, we still have a lot of people that are ignorant in this world with that mindset. I don't really care what people think of me. Everybody knows that. So I just am me. And if someone doesn't like who I am, that's their problem, So.
No, I know. I feel the same way. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Life is too short. You know what I'm saying? Who cares? I mean, if people want to be in your life, they're going to be in your life. If not, then it's really not a big deal anymore, you know?
Right. It is. And it comes from ignorance. You know, they believe even, you know, I just want to brush on this a little briefly, but even in Catholicism, we have Satanism, okay?
Mhm.
And I mean, it's not just Catholicism. I'm just using it as an example, okay? So a lot of people under the misconception, we know that we have the demons, or what we call, you know, Lucifer, who is the head of the demon, or people call him Satan, devil, whatever. But Lucifer is really his angelic name before he was cast out of heaven. So Lucifer is a breathtakingly gorgeous angel.
Mhm.
Blonde hair, blue eyes. I mean, you would just drop dead at his feet because how beautiful he is. Hollywood created the horns and the red skin and all that other BS, and that's not true. So bringing us back to Wiccans, it's the same thing. You know, they have, you know, warts on their face, and you know, big nose is evil, and you know, killing little children and sacrificing. There is no human sacrificing or any kind of sacrificing whatsoever of anything alive in Wiccan. Um, I can't speak for other forms of religions, and even the sacrificing is done for a reason. So Santeria, um, Santeria will kill chickens because what they do is they cleanse the body with the live chicken, and it absorbs all the evil out of the body or the home, and then they have to kill the animal to destroy the evil. Now, some of us may think it's barbaric, but you know, that is their way of doing things. And so they don't eat the chicken because they, you know, the chicken has absorbed all of the malice on the body or the location. So I mean, but as far as Wiccan go and witches, there's no sacrificing whatsoever. And a lot of times they link that to that, even in certain sects of Satanism, because there's different areas of Satanism, like spiritual Satanism, the Satanism. They don't do sacrifices. Okay, so there are certain dark areas of magic that people do sacrifices. But in general, Satanism does not do human sacrifices or animal sacrifices in most of the spiritual sects of it. I don't mean sex, sex,
No, and I
S-E-C.
know where your mind is.
Because I'm thinking, wait, it sounds like I'm saying sex. They do practice sex magic, but that's a whole nother class. So do Wiccans, it's sex magic is.
I think everybody practices that, don't they?
Yeah. And they
Can
don't
be a
realize
form of
how,
magic.
how powerful magic is. I mean, sex, you know, magic is a real thing. And you don't have to have a partner. Sometimes they do it in masturbation. I mean, we are adults here. Let's talk about what it is. But sex magic is something that's not new. It's ancient. It's like thousands of years, and the ancients did practice sex magic. And so what you do is whatever your ritual that you're doing, your intent, whether it's for prosperity, the thought process and the visionary part of a ritual is very, very important. So you're going
Right.
to think, let's say, for example, you want money or a job promotion, and you visualize that job promotion not as it's going to happen, as it's already happened. And you're visualizing this, and you're going to work, you have an increase in pay, you're happy, people are referring to you as their boss, and you see this as real. And while you're doing this, it's either while you're having sex or masturbating, and then you come to the point of climax and you release that energy. It is very, very, very powerful. Sex magic is extremely powerful because it actually releases that energy into the universe on many facets, not just physically, but on a spiritual, emotionally. It's amazing. So, but you talk to people about, they're like, what? But it is a very powerful form that's ancient. So,
Because of the energy and the force behind it.
oh, the force,
Especially
yeah,
during
especially
the climax.
if it's a partner that you both, visualizing something together, and you're the combination and the feeling, that whether it's love or that strong physical attraction, or you're on the same wavelength of whatever the ritual is for, is going to be powerful at that release.
Oh,
But
most
that's not candle
definitely.
magic.
That's not candle magic. No,
It's not candle magic.
that's
I
Renee.
just,
Renee live after dark.
that's Renee. Yeah, that'll be another class. Renee Live after much dark.
So funny. So yeah, I mean, with the misconception of I mean, all of this. I mean, like with us, right? I mean, I have a lot of clients and friends who tell me all the time, Renee, it's so hard to come out. It's so hard to come out that I'm, Wiccan, and my family, I don't think they're going to understand. I don't think my friends are going to understand. And, they're beautiful people, and I love spending time with them. And, and they feel like the psychic mediums did years ago before they started coming out. What are people going to think? And my thing is that you don't need to worry about what people think about you, because your
Right.
heart is good, your soul is good, you have good intentions. It's just what you feel comfortable with. um, you worship, you worship the earth, Mother Nature, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But
Right.
like you said,
No.
Hollywood has played this up as being just, they're monsters. You think of Hansel and Gretel, and they,
Right.
right? I mean, and they,
And that's true. And don't get me wrong, there are people who practice magic that can do harm on you. We all know that.
right,
Um, but that comes back to the dark side of magic and
right,
and what it can do. And that's a choice that people make. It exists. Evil is everywhere. I mean, we have to have it because
hmm,
one cannot exist without the other.
right,
So you have to just live in your own truth of who you are, and not really care what others think. I mean,
right,
I never gave a shit what people thought about me. I still to this day don't. And if someone's not going to be understanding, accepting of who you are, and if you practice, let's say Wiccan, um, then they're not, even if it's family, they're not the right people in the life to be with you. I mean, I was born and raised, Catholic.
right,
My parents are, Italian, right off the boat of Ellis Island, who, would force me to go to church every Sunday. And I would just be sickened to my core because I questioned everything.
hmm,
And, the nuns would be like, you don't question anything. You must believe. What do you believe in what? Where's this proof? I don't, so even at a young age, I knew it was not the path for me. I knew it was not right for me, what Catholicism was bringing to the table. And so I deviated from that with my family being upset. But, I got to the point where I'm like, listen, I'm an adult. I'm going to do what I want to
right,
do. And I try to let them understand, some of the things that, what it is about. And it's a matter of educating people. I mean, if people want
right,
to know, I mean, you don't want to go around saying, hey, I want to tell you about myself. But if people in your family or friends are just, not that, you have to explain to them, um, because they don't know, and they get the Hollywood version of it. You see what I'm saying? Or the misinformed version of, even in books. Sometimes when I'm reading stuff or seeing a movie, I'm like, my God, like, this is
yep,
insane. What people are being led to believe.
yep,
So I just tell people, stay strong in what you believe, be true to yourself. You will be at a specific frequency. Their energy that you're going to give out is what you're
right,
going to attract back. And therefore, you may lose some of your friends and gain new ones who are going to be on the same
hmm,
energy level as you and same level of mentality. It was what you want. You want someone who's going to empower you, not bring you down.
right. And let me tell you something, when you release all this stuff and you start at a higher vibrational level and you get up there and you start attracting in your soul family and those people who are like-minded and everything, it's an amazing feeling. It is a
Yeah.
feeling you have never felt your life. It's beautiful. Um, and when you're around people who are on that same vibrational level, you feel it, you know it, and you can actually like feel sick. You can actually feel sick.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, life is too short to be with anyone who's not, whether it's a relationship, not just
Hmm.
friendship, but a significant other. If they're not
Right.
accepting you for you or empowering you, or if they don't have to agree with what you do or believe, but they have to stick by you
Right.
and support you. And if they're not, later, you know what I'm saying? Next.
Yep. Like I'm very blessed. My family has supported me with this my whole life, except for when I started coming out of who I was. They were like, "Oh my God, no!" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's time,"
Yeah, they're like,
And
what are the people gonna say? Who gives a shit,
yeah, yeah, no, but they embrace it. They embrace it and give me full support. I just want to do shout out Jeff. I loved your godmom. I knew her, and she, Paula was amazing. She was an amazing psychic medium, and I too miss her. So she was kind of like a mentor to me here in the area, Nina, after I first moved to this area, and
Yeah.
she was amazing. So I think I've talked to you about Paula before.
Yep. Yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But Renee, as far as candle magic, the reason why candle magic is very powerful with a lot of the rituals that you're doing, any kind of spells, is because candles encompass every element. So it is air, water, earth, fire, all of those elements, okay, are all in candle magic. The
Mhm.
candle is earth, it's solid. The liquid is the wax, the smoke is the air. You see, it's everything. And then the motive behind it, which is the most powerful thing in any spell, that would be the spirit, the tip of the pentagram is what, the
Right.
pentagram represents. The pentagram is not evil, people, okay? Um,
Oh.
Even the inverted pentagram. Now, I'm a 3rd degree high priestess in Wiccan. We wear an inverted pentagram, and people are so misinformed that they think, oh, it's Satan. No, that's once again, Satanism does use inverted pentagram, but it doesn't mean evil. It's just that the V on the top where it's opened is drawing down the energy and it's
Mhm.
dispersed. It's different, okay? Same with Wiccan. We have the point on the top that's drawing down the energy from, the universe energy, the gods, whatever, coming down, and we have the points where is, earth, wind, air, earth, wind and fire. It's a band. It's,
It
you
is.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So the candle magic has all of that in it. So when you're doing a spell with candles, it's a very powerful spell. In Catholicism, you go to the church and you light a candle. And people don't know. So I say to people, you light a candle in your church, and what do? Oh, I pray. Well, you just did candle magic.
Yeah.
It's you lighting the candle, you're putting that energy or prayer into that light, and as it burns, that energy is being released into the universe and it's manifested, whether it's for someone to be healed, whatever the reason is. And of course, there's the dark side of candle magic, as we know, where you can send spell to do harm to people, and candle magic is very, very powerful.
Mhm.
So in all facets, healing, in love, and success, and protection.
Yeah, it's the magic for the spells, whether you're praying, whether you're doing an actual manifestation or anything like that, is all within us. It's all within each of us. And that's what people need to understand. So when you pray, you're actually casting a spell because it's the energy of the intent behind the prayer. And that's how you manifest.
Right. And it can't just be words. Okay. So you can't say, Hail Mary, whatever you do. Or you can't do a ritual and say, I call upon the deities, I call upon the 4 quarters. No, you can't. The most important part of any kind of spell that you do is you have to have the strong power of intent, that passion. And that is the strongest part of any spell that you do. Because
Hmm.
if you're just reciting words and saying without feeling, it's not going to do anything.
Right.
You're wasting your time. So it's very important the intent is the most powerful part. So what do you do with candle magic? Okay, so you're going to there's candles come in many different colors, and usually the colors are coordinated according to what you want to do. Most people that are beginning, I always tell them, don't panic, just get a white candle. White candle is universal, so you can use it for pretty much anything. Black is usually used for banishing and clearing. Okay. Black is also used to, when you do a spell, or red, to cause harm to others. Those are usually the more popular ones. That's why a lot of people, when they see black candles, they're like, oh, it's evil. No, you know, it depends what you're using it for. Okay. But black is what we use for banishing and clearing, especially when we go into homes and we do rituals and we do spells to clear of a negative energy. I will place the 4 black candles in the 4 quarters, north, east, south, and west. And then I put 1 in the middle. And that's how I will, what the black does, it absorbs and it burns that negative energy. Or it absorbs the negative, does not get rid of entities. Okay, this is a misconception, but it does absorb any of the negativity in the air. And then we bury those candles, the melted wax, and there's a whole process that goes into it. So, and you can clear, you know, just want to lighten up a load, or if you're feeling very depressed and just miserable, you light a black candle and you put the intent of visualizing all of your frustration or all of your depression into the flame, and visualize it and feel it sucking it out and burning. And then people say, oh my God, I feel so much lighter after doing this with a black candle. That's what it's used for. Pink is usually used for love issues, to bring in happiness and harmony into a home. Green is used for money because it's the color of money. So is gold. So there's different things. Red is sexual energy. So if you want to do a ritual to increase sexual energy, you would use red. Orange is for success. You can also use specific candle for colors for your chakras. So if you're trying to clear and balance your chakras, you can light a candle that represents that specific chakra and work on that energy. So let's say we're going to do one for money, because everybody usually will ask about money or love. It's pretty much the only 2 things people ever ask about. And then every once in a while you get I need help, you know, clearing out some negative energy. So you get a candle correlated to that color. So green would be money. You get the candle, and there's different types of candles. Usually you do a 7-day candle, which is the tall. I'm going to take you for a ride. Hold on, people. Okay. So I have some candles here. I don't have everything because it's some of my stuff is still packed. But this here is, and it's black because we burned it. But this is what we call a 7-day candle. And you want to get the one that it pulls out. So when it's stuck now, but it pulls out, and you're going to pull out the entire candle, and it's pretty big. Then you're going to dress the candle. So, and this is the fun part. So if, let's say you got a green pull-out candle, 7 days, you want to make it, you decorate it. Okay. I know it sounds funny, but you can carve in, you know, a money symbols. You can put glitter on it, whatever your heart desires. And while you're dressing this candle, there's an exchange of energy going on there. It's very, very important that you put the intent of why you're dressing this candle. So you want to say, this is a money ritual. As you're carving it and putting designs in it, you could write the word money. You can do whatever you want. I've had people that have gotten coins and they kind of glue them on. That's perfect. You know, get like a hot glue gun. You can do that. Obviously, when it burns down, it's going to fall, but that's okay. You dress the candle the way you want. You can use essential oils. Some people have money drawing oils that they'll put on the top, or, you know, dress the candle with your hands. And the way we dress the candle with an oil, which would be the first thing you want to do before you start carving, is there's different ways, and people always will argue over this, but you start from the middle. And what some people do is they'll go start from the middle, go down and up, or from the bottom and go up halfway, or from the top and down. There is, honestly, people, there is no right and wrong way. I know the books say what they say, but it's what you feel is right. I never dress a candle the same way. Okay, so if I'm doing where I want to draw in money, most of the time I'm going to go from the bottom of the candle to the top and then a top to the bottom. And how I visualize that is earth, manifestation of that money, the top drawing it from the universe. And that's what works for me. And it may not work for you. So what it has to be what's right for you, how you logically process that. Okay. Once you've dressed the candle, you feel it's all ready to go. You can hold it, meditate on it a little bit, put your intent. The most important thing, and I stress this, if there's anything you hear of what I'm saying tonight, this is the most important thing, is when you're visualizing, you cannot visualize your intent of money as it's going to come in the future. You have to visualize it and believe, this is important, that you have it already. Whether it's paying your bills and they're all paid in full, you sit there and watch all your bills paid in full. Yes, I'm paid in full. Look at this, zero balance. Envision money falling from the sky all around you. Like you can't even move in the room because there's so many $100 bills piled high. And it's there. And you're like, oh, okay, I have all this money. Great, paying all these bills out. That is the most powerful thing and the most successful thing in success of any spell that you do, especially in candle magic. And once you feel you've put that intent into the candle, you put the candle back in the glass. They usually, 7-day candles usually burn for 7 days. And I tell people, please be careful. You never want to leave a candle unattended, but you kind of have to. So what I tell people to do is get a bowl of water, fill it halfway, put the candle in the bowl of water and put it in the bathtub and put it away. You know, if you have shower curtains, make sure the shower curtain's not in there. And let it burn in the shower. And if you have to shower, take it out, put it in. Because if God forbid that thing shatters, and it'll go right into the bowl of water and go out. So there's less chance of a fire. So just always want to be careful with that, okay? Mm-hmm. And you let it burn. And as it burns, you know, I usually try to say, you know, look into the flame as it's burning in the beginning. Put that intent out, you know, visualize that and let it burn and let it do its thing. Mm-hmm. I always tell people when you're doing your candle to, obviously, you know, you go to work, you go to school, whatever, when you come back, if you could always have some time to meditate around it, even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, doing that visualization process again. And as that candle is burning, you see more money. And then, you know, oh, wow, I'm debt free. Whatever your intention is for that, whatever you're trying to draw that money in, enough money for rent, enough money to pay medical bills. And it's the same process that you do. Once that candle has burned all the way down, you can get the leftover wax. It's waxed, you know, to the bottom. Most of the time in a 7-day candle, it'll pretty much burn pretty good. You can scoop it up and bury it if you want, some people, or you can just honestly recycle bin the glass. I just want to show you some other candles that I have here. So there's different types. These are some of the ones that we do for people, and they're different color coordinated. And this is like a healing candle. And this is a pink candle for love. This is an orange candle. What we do with these candles, orange, we use these for like business success. And I always like to have them burn it for 3 days, and I score them. I don't know if you could see this, but there's scores that you carve in, and you burn it like the first day, second day, and third day. That's why it has scores in it. Then we have these little tiny candles. It's dark because I have charcoal on it, so it's fine. And then here's our lovely little black candle, the little votives. Those you would put in your little votive jar, and that's what you would use. So you can start off with little votives if you want, because they burn pretty quick. And just, you know, you just kind of get the candle. And the same process goes for all the candles. You use them, you dress them, you get them ready, you anoint them with an oil, and then you would burn them and do your visualization technique. And that's pretty much it, Renee. And if that intent, bringing back to that passion intent, if you don't put that into it, you can't just light a candle and walk away.
Right.
Even if I do a candle for you and dress it for you, because that's what we do, we dress it, we get it all ready, send it to you, you just have to light it. I always tell people you have to hold and connect with it. and you have to do your visualization on it, even though I did it, because that's important. It's your energy that has to connect to it. And then I work on my end here while the candle's burning. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Nice. Yeah. Can we touch base? I mean, I want to touch base about the color white and the color black, and why actually, like, a lot of people, and this might be off topic a little bit, but why we don't ask them to, like, envision the white light so much or use the white candles too much because of making it like a beacon. Making it like priests wear black for a reason, because it wards off negativity in the Catholic religion.
It also absorbs.
Right.
So it's, once again, it brings us back to the intent, you know?
Right. But with the white light and using too much of the white, can we touch on that a little bit?
Okay, so when we do any type of visualization, I know a lot of this, you know, love and light and, you know, is great, but we don't use white light in any of our visualizations, especially in healing. And the reason why is that white, when you start to elevate your energy level, or, you know, the frequency that you give out, because your frequency changes and hertz, it's just happens. Electronics start going off. I mean, you know, things like that. You're going to start attracting, I would say that, you know, like moths and flies go towards a light. That's what happens. So you're going to be a beacon of light. But the white light, the frequency of the white light is really not good for when you're doing magic or healing. And I know this is really hard for people to understand this, because we've been so indoctrinated with white light, white light. We use cobalt blue light. Cobalt blue light, the frequency of it is much more powerful and safer than white light. And it's much more healing. So if you envision that around you, surround you, it's a great protection. White light is not as protecting as the cobalt blue. And people will argue with me. I don't care, you argue whatever you want, but you can feel it for yourself. If you just give yourself the chance to do that, you will feel the difference. And so I never have people use white light when they're doing any kind of visualization of protection, healing. If you're out in the sunlight itself, that's different. Then you want to envision, and you do sun healing, the sun on you with the sunlight and energy going through your body and clearing you out. That's different. But if you're envisioning white light, it's not, we won't never teach it that way. We don't recommend it that way. It's always with the cobalt blue. You know,
Correct.
so it's, you know.
One of the things Jeff asked here in the chat room, if you feel like there's a negative energy preventing success, do you do the clearing or success first?
Clearing. So you want to do the black candle first, and you visualize, if you know what the obstacles are that are blocking you, and visualizing it getting sucked and absorbed into that black candle and just melting away. If you don't know, then just now this is, you call on who you believe, right? So some people feel, you know, you're Catholic, great. You pray to Jesus, God, whoever you want, use that in your candle magic. You can use a specific deity if you want. You know, a lot of people will use, I use a lot of the Sumerian gods and goddesses. So I, you know, call on, you know, Enki and Enlil and things like that, Astaroth. And so, and other people will use the Greek, or, you know, they'll use, you know, Venus, or, you know, Aphrodite, you know, whatever you're comfortable with calling in. It doesn't matter what religion you are. If you want to call Allah, it's the same thing. So you can have them call and say, listen, I have these obstacles, saints, whatever you want to use, orishas, to help me remove a lot of the negativity or the obstacles. So this, you make the intent of that black candle being a candle to dissolve any obstacles that are in your way of success. And then as that's burning, you visualize the paths in front of you clearing. Like you can visualize bushes in front of you that are cut down, you know, puddles of water clearing up and all that. And you see this pristine, beautiful, clear, golden path that you're going to walk down clearly. Once that's finished, then you can do a success candle to then envision your business success, job promote, whatever the thing is. But yes, definitely the clearing first.
Good advice.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff was mentioning that he feels more comfortable with the cobalt blue light. And I know that Jeff is, if I'm not mistaken, thinks highly of Archangel Michael also. So that's his color.
Then that's right. And you would call, if that's what you're connecting with and have that strong resonance to, then you call him. Absolutely.
And it works good. You had mentioned before too about the white light and people calling it in for protection and envisioning it and everything else. That if you're prone to depression and stuff, you don't want to use that white light. Also, that the cobalt blue light would be better.
You know, yeah. And like I said, Renee, a lot of people, it's really hard for them to accept that. But I say to them, the best thing that you have to do is try it out. You know, envision it. If, you know, you try the blue cobalt light and it's basically like blue flames of cobalt and you're engulfing yourself in this and you know, not just around you, but inside you, burning within you and through your mind, through your heart, through all your body, usually around a 2 feet circumference around you and underneath you and on top of you. And you visualize that cobalt blue light and just sit in it and meditate. I guarantee anybody that does that is going to feel that difference. You know, so when we're teaching a lot of the members of the church, because as you know, I'm a clergy of the Aquarian Church, we don't teach white light. We teach the cobalt blue light, and that's safer than white light.
Yeah, it definitely works better. Robin says here in the chat room, cobalt blue, great. I understand about the white light candle better now.
That white light's universal, though, and white candle is universal, and it's, you know, it's great. You know, people are like, well, what do I candle use? Don't worry, if you're always in doubt, use white. You know, it's safe color to use.
And one of the things too, people, I mean, these 7-day candles too can be bought at like Family Dollar, Dollar General, your dollar stores. Right now, if you want black, Halloween's coming up. Go and buy them up. You know, you're going to pay $1 to $1.75, $2 per candle. If you go online and order them, you're going to spend $7, $8, $9, $10 for that. So
just make sure that the pull out, the 7-day candles. I know the dollar store, but they have to pull out. A lot of them are poured in to the glass. But when you're doing candle magic, they have to be pullouts because you have to work the candle, and you can't do that in the glass. Okay.
Yep.
The only time you can do that is if we're doing if we're going into a location that has a lot of dark energy. We will get the 7-day black candles, and they can just be poured in it, because a lot of times I don't even have to dress those. I just light them and let them burn. Okay, so that would be really the only time that I would, you know, say that to do that.
Okay. Do you remove the candle when you put it back in?
Yes, you remove it out of the glass. You dress it, whatever you do, like carve it. I use a lot of sacred symbols in mine and sacred geometry. I use a lot of runes. So you can carve them into your candle, anoint it with an oil that you're going to use that would be, you know, used for whatever that specific spell you're going to be doing, and then put it back in the glass, and then you can start the candle ritual.
And this stuff, it does work. And, I do the same thing, Nina. Tell people to put it in a bowl in, the bathtub and remove everything and just let it burn. If they're home, if
Yeah.
they want to put it out in like the center of the home, to rid of negativity or anything like that, then, typically that's usually the living room
Right.
in most
Absolutely.
homes.
But when
But
they're not home,
um,
definitely put it in the tub
yep,
in a
or
bowl.
at
Yeah.
bed, when you're in bed or anything like that, put it in the tub,
Yes.
in the bowl of
Yes.
water.
Definitely. Yep.
Yep.
And the magic, the reason why candle magic is, like I said, it's so powerful is because it contains all of the five elements.
Hmm.
And that's really important because and that's why the force behind it is very powerful. It's working on so many different levels and dimensions when it's burning and when it's processing, and it's really putting that energy out there to make it manifest.
Right. Right. Okay, I'm just checking to see if there's any more questions. I don't see any at this moment.
Yeah, I'm not following the question, so you have to tell me if I'm missing anything.
It's okay. It's all right. Um, so, we've talked about the Wiccan religion and everything, and about spells and casting and everything. And it's all about the intent. It's all about the intent. It's within you, the energy and the force that you put behind it. Like I said, with prayer, anything like that is considered a spell.
Hmm.
The energy and the intent of wanting, whether it be for somebody to get better, for things in your life to get better, anything like that, or just praying just because you want to pray, is really, it's all within you. It's all within
Right,
you. Yep.
right. I mean, even um, people that like I said, the intent is the only way this is going to work successfully. It's just the way it is. Even in prayer, I mean, sometimes you say people they're praying like, oh, I pray, but I never get well. You're
Hmm.
not praying. Like you're just saying words. If
Right.
I just, if someone just recited, our Father, will great Lord, what is that? What is that? You can't pray that way if that's what you're doing. Even in when you do spells, the same thing. If you're reciting a psalm, excuse me, or a mantra, a lot of
Hmm.
people, the mantras are very powerful, but you can't just say the mantras. You have to say them with force and power in your tone and everything. So
Hmm.
it's when someone does a mantra, it has to be very, very, very powerful in how you're saying that, like the Om Mani Padme Hum. Okay, so even the Om, when you're doing the Om, everybody knows the symbol of the Om. It's the universal sound. It's the sound of our universe, and what it. If you were to hear it, it would go Om. That's what it sounds like. So, but you don't just do Om. It's a force. It's an Om. And your tongue has to be on the roof of your mouth, vibrating, because you'll feel your brain vibrate. This is what has to happen. Your brain has to vibrate because it starts to activate the pineal glands. Okay, and
Hmm.
that's why you have to do it that way. So when you're doing the Om, it isn't Om. It's forceful. It's power. Your breath, your body has to go into it. When you're doing the Om Mani Padme Hum, which is what they use, a lot of times even for healing, you'll hear them Om Mani Padme Hum, and it's powerful and it's building and it's getting faster and you feel it. If you do it
Hmm.
that way, you're going to feel your body starting to vibrate,
Right.
and you'll feel that energy, and it's very
Hmm.
powerful. So it's very important that whether you pray or you do spells, you have to do it with a strong, powerful intent, and you have to
Hmm.
use your body and your breath and everything. Very important.
One of the questions here from Raven is, have you ever used candle magic with tarot?
Um, no, I don't see the correlation between the two. So maybe if she asks it maybe a little different, because tarot is a divination, candles is lighting. I mean, you can light a candle while you're doing like a reading with the
Hmm.
tarot cards, but I don't know how I don't think I understand the question too good.
She said she's used it as a symbol for herself, for her.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you could light a candle. So
Hmm.
if you're doing like on my altar, um I have a gold candle and I have a black candle next to each other. And the gold candle is representing me as goddess Luna. So yes, I do that. But not as a magical thing, but almost like an empowering thing while you're doing your ritual. I mean, I'm sorry, your
Hmm.
tarot reading. Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely.
One of the things we do sometimes before our classes is we do that we do the huna, and then so as two people are rocking back and forth and
Hmm.
just touching hands and doing huna, right, and they're doing and getting the vibration going, another person will come in and do like the ram and the
Hmm.
om and the different
Yeah.
sounds to really get it to come out.
Yeah, and and
That works out really well.
there's different sounds that you can use, um, like ah. Ah
Hmm.
is the sound of God, or the Almighty Universe, and it's the ah sound. Okay,
Hmm.
so the ah, if is used like Buddha, Allah. It's a lot of those God words. So
Hmm.
that is also a very powerful sound, but it has to be with powerful intent. And then you have different sounds that will um, they have a specific frequency to them, and they will are used a lot of times for chakra work, chakra energy,
Hmm.
chakra clearings, and you use them for the different specific
Hmm.
chakras.
Correct. And so when we do that for like the group for the classes and stuff, they really
Mhm.
feel it, and you can see the change come over them as it
Absolutely.
continues. I mean, it's amazing how it really it I can't even talk, transforms people. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm
I
saying?
mean,
Yeah.
they mantras are very, very powerful. Toning is very, very powerful.
Hmm.
We all know that um, the angels do not speak in words, they speak in tones.
Hmm.
So a lot of the Enochian magic, which is the magic of the angels, is done in it's all specific toning. It's that's symbols and toning. And those tones have to be done a specific way. So a lot of ritual masters we call, and for an example, if you're going to call Archangel Michael, you have to call him on his tone. So it's and the tone has to be done specifically so that it has that specific frequency. It's like a
Right.
name, because the entities or angels, they are on a they're energetic beings, and
Hmm.
they have a specific frequency, and that's the frequency that you tone to connect with them, or get their attention. You never ever pull in an entity. You never do that. And that's another thing that pisses me off, because you're pulling someone in against their free will. So you ask them, you tone, you ask them, and if they come, great. Um, Sometimes they don't. But because
Like
we live in
Elvis.
it, yeah, just like Elvis. Because we live in a 3D world, they will manifest in a physical form so that we can understand them better. But their natural essence is energy.
Hmm.
They're not really, they come to earth in physical form, but whatever, like a lot of people work with Archangel Michael. He will come in a specific form to humans and appear, because that's how we understand him.
Hmm. Yep, it's true. Um, Robin said, it must come from the inner being, swift, precise, and strongly intended, correct?
The toning or the mantras.
Well, let's find out. Let's see what she says. And Jeff, is that going to be Archangel Michael's tone that you want to know what it is?
I
He
can't give
really
out the
wants to.
tone. And the reason being is that you have to be a ritual master in the Enochian magic to be able to tone him. Because if you would try to tone his energy and you cannot hold that energy, it's not going to be good.
Right.
So, I mean,
So
you
the
can
best way to
certainly,
connect with,
go ahead.
I think the best way to connect with Michael is to just say his name 3 times. Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael. You've called him in, and state what it is that you need to say to him or ask, and he'll be there. He'll understand.
Right. And I mean, and some
Mhm.
people can get a blue candle, dedicate the candle to Archangel Michael. You can thank him. You can try to, make that connection of and burn the candle. A lot of
Mhm.
candles aren't, only just for magic. They can be as a devotion. They can be as a thank you.
Right.
After you did magic and something great happened, like, oh my God, I can't believe I got that job I wanted. Well, you need to thank.
Mhm.
You need to
Mhm.
take that time, light a white candle, because that's usually we do for thanking, and light it and say thank you, to whomever, if you just did a generic one, or thank you to Aphrodite, or being whatever you did. Thank you for helping me get this job. I'm lighting this candle with the intent of just thanking you, and I'm gratitude to you, and burn it in their honor. So it's a devotion. So that's you do want to do that. And if you want to just show no reason, great love and devotion to Archangel Michael, light a blue candle and say, Archangel Michael, this is for you, or whoever you want to do it for. So it's not only just for magic, it's also for thanks.
I usually just say thank you, big sexy. I love you.
There you go. That works. That works.
No, he's awesome. If you don't have a candle, just every time a blessing happens, just say thank you.
Yeah,
Just look
just
up and say thank you. I mean, they hear you, they know. I mean, it's like when you have problems, and if you don't ask, they can't help. I tell people that all the time. If you don't ask them, they can't help you.
right.
And
They
so
can't help you because nobody can help you against your
correct.
free the free. They can't just help. Even people, even your guardian angels or your guardians, they can't help you. You have to ask for help.
Right.
And honestly, people, I hate to tell you this, you don't need anybody's help but your own. The power of anything that we can manifest is within ourselves. When
Mm-hmm.
I do any kind of spell, I never call anybody. I don't need them, because the power is within me. We all have that God energy within us that we just need to tap into and do it. A lot of this is the biggest gripe I have with religion, as far as like Christianity and things like that. Any Abrahamic faith, I'm against. They make you sheeple, and I hate to say it.
Mm-hmm.
You give your power up to, I give my power up to God. Oh, it's in God's hands. Oh, it's in Jesus' hands. No, it's in your hands. You are the one who has to step forward, stop being lazy, and take responsibility for your own shit and make the
Mm-hmm.
changes. You are the only one who can make those changes. You could pray to God all you want, Jesus or whoever, and if you don't make the attempt, nothing's gonna happen. So, that is one thing that was my biggest gripe, because I felt like people are powerless. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have any power. You're leaving everything up to whoever, and it's really not necessary. Do we want
Right.
to, some people have a connection with a specific saint. Of course, pray to them, ask them for help, absolutely. But we forget that the power and the force is within us. You don't have to go
Mm-hmm.
outside to find it. It's just easier to find it outside. You know what I'm saying? You can give up your power and let someone else do your shit. But, really, it's you that has to do it.
Right, right. It's with anything, you have to take that initial step. You have to do it because nobody can do it for you.
No. And,
And
you know,
and the self-esteem and the belief within yourself is very important.
hmm right.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
I have some questions here.
Okay.
One question, Linda wants to know, what about people who have audio clairvoyance?
hmm
With
What is the
and I
question?
think she was talking about with the mantras and the sounds.
Um, I'm not understanding the question. I'm sorry.
I think
Like,
she was talking about the when you were talking about the mantras. and the
Okay.
sounds of like the angels and everything. Um, and she said, what about people who have audio clairvoyance if they hear them?
If they hear the entities talking to them, I know I'm tired, but I'm not understanding specifically what the question. I'm
I
sorry.
I think like in hearing, yeah, response with their tones, I think is what she's trying to say.
Okay, so most of the time when they respond to you, yes, you will get the response to what your predominant ability is. And I don't use the word gifts, okay, because they're not gifts,
No, their
not gift from
abilities.
anybody. They're abilities, okay?
Mhm.
Gift is just a BS word that makes you feel like you're special. They're abilities. Everybody has these abilities. Some people just are more forward with them. They're more advanced with them, and they, want to do it. They're whatever their path in life is. So, but yeah. So if you're audio, you're going to hear things. So you're going to most of the time you'll hear them speak. You'll hear words loud, like they'll answer you. And, if you're connecting with a specific, like your guardian or your guardian angels. I call them guardians. You will hear them as if I'm speaking to you now. That's how you would hear them. Probably not
Mhm.
as loud, but you will hear like there's a voice in the room. Yes. I hope that's what she was asking. I'm not sure.
I think
If
so.
not, okay, if not, just please ask it again because
I think that's what she's doing. Um, so and Jeff said that he thinks he might naturally produce some tones when he's in distress and he's come before, like meaning Archangel Michael, but it was super intense.
yes, the energy is super intense. And that's why, and I'm going to be honest, Enochian magic is not practiced by the lame. It can't be because the tones are so powerful. People, you can actually go insane. I know that's a little dramatic, but it's so incredibly powerful
Hmm.
that your entire body in the physical and also your etheric body you're affecting it in many dimensions. And so it's not something that you can do. You have to kind of be, like I said, a ritual master in Enochian because it can have very negative effects on a person.
He said he vibrated right out of his solar plexus.
Hmm. And I've known
And
people that have attempted certain things that have totally blown out and really messed up their chakras. They
he said he,
actually, yeah,
yeah, he said he almost threw up.
I believe it. Yeah.
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 And Linda said yes. In regard to her question, that was
Okay,
what she
good.
was.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, because I wasn't sure what she was
Yep.
asking.
Do we have any more questions? Raven said, thank you for coming on. A good kick for me to get back to my roots.
Good. That's a good positive thing. We like that.
Definitely. I don't think there's any more questions. Is there anything more that you want to add, Nina?
No, I mean, I think we put, I think we hit a lot of important points, in dealing
Mhm.
with candle magic.
We love you too, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Jeff is
Yeah.
Jeff is really cool. I met Jeff about a year ago, wasn't it, Jeff? Just over a year ago. Um, and he's got a really cool haunted haunted facility that's really neat.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Good times. It was fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah, and even, another thing is like haunted. A lot of paranormal investigators that go into location that's haunted, um, it's nobody's right as a paranormal investigator to go in there like all gung ho and feel like they have to cross over these entities.
Mm-mm.
It's like, people, please stop. You know, they're there by choice. This is
Mhm.
whether they're home, whether it was their business. They want to stay here, and we really have no right to say, oh, I'm wondering. But no, if they want to
Mhm.
help and cross over, because all of them are very fearful. They don't know what's on the other side, or they're still attached to things here. You have to help them somehow um, to understand that if they want to go, that you will help them. And that's it. That's all we can do. But we can't go in there and start, it's just, it's like me coming into your house and saying, okay, Renee, come on, pack up your stuff and get out. Yeah, what do you mean get out? It can't be like that,
No.
unless we're dealing with a dark energy.
Right.
In that case, it has to go.
Mm-hmm.
And, and that's where a lot of people feel they have the power to do it, and they don't, and they get hurt, or they cause bigger problems. And then they, I get a phone call and I'm like, hey, and then you got to go in and fix up the mess, but that's why it's, you just don't, always handle what you can, no matter what you're doing. Be
Jeff,
safe.
Jeff is funny. Jeff, do you want me to say it on the air? Or do you want me to tell her in private? I mean, because I don't know how much you want me to disclose. He said the hotel is definitely open for us anytime we want to go and investigate.
Cool.
Too, so.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that offline.
He loves your style. He loves your jersey.
My Jersey, my Jersey accent. I moved back to Jersey, and as many as you could probably see, I'm trying not to. I have massive amounts of boxes and crap all over the place behind me because I'm still not unpacked. I have so much stuff to do, and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get this done. But I just, I can't. It's gotta do little by little. So I'm back in Jersey.
You are back in Jersey. I will. I'll tell her in private, Jeff. And if you need to stay, you can stay there at the hotel.
Oh, that would be fun.
But he did make a point that when I first went, he'd love to have you come as a guest, as his guest.
Well, thank you so much, Jeff. That's sweet. Thank you.
The one thing is when I walked in, the spirits were afraid at first because they thought I was going to clear them out.
Right.
But I didn't, and that wasn't my intent, when I went there. And we actually had a really great time that night, and the spirits were very active, and it was definitely a blessing. You know what I'm saying? It was great. It was great.
Good. Yeah. I mean, when you walk into a room, an entity is going to see your energy. And they know what you're capable and what you're not capable of doing. And, you walk into a room and they're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
She's here, because they know.
Yeah,
and then until you,
afraid,
and then, once you, because they could see what you can do. And then you say, hey, chill, not here to get rid of you. Just come help you. You need my help? No. Okay. Whatever.
That's what I told him. I told him I was there to party with them and to celebrate and to help them release whatever it was that they were holding back, because there were a lot of slaves there. So you can imagine the trauma that they were holding on to.
You talk about fear. Fear is one of the most reasons a lot of entities, besides being attached to, the location, is a fear. They're afraid of moving on, and that's what really keeps them here. So that's one of the biggest reasons, fear. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Terry says hello. Donna says hugs and kisses. Debbie's in the chat room. She says hi to us.
Hello, everybody. I'm not looking at the chat because it'll distract me. So Renee's got to keep me up with what's being said.
So that's why my eyes are going up and down all around.
Yeah, okay.
Sounds good, Jeff. He's got video of them and he's going to send it. It's really cool. Really cool place. Yeah. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. I was singing, we were singing old slave songs too, and boy, were we getting hits. I mean, it was good. Yeah, it was really good. And we had them and we're like, shout it out or let it go. And they'd respond with, let it go. And I mean, they were like singing it with us, and we're like, I was, I know you were slaves, and how could they treat you that way? And that was wrong. And they're like, we let it go. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's,
they were
it's a form of, honoring them and devotion to them. So, that's always accepted very well.
Jeff's like, let's have more fun. I know we've got to get together, Jeff, and get them all riled up and more releasing going, because it was fun. It was their personality shined right out, I mean, they were
Yeah.
just loving it. And then when they were done, they were done.
Yeah.
They said, that's it, we're done. And so we ended.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good. Well, I mean, is there any other questions about spells or candle magic that anybody has? I mean, I know this, I know, Renee, that it gets shared and a lot of people will be seeing this afterwards. But if anybody, is interested in any magic, candle magic, we create also, KGN Organics does create rituals for you. So if you need a specific and you don't feel comfortable with it, or you want for the first time, someone to do it, we're more than happy to put something together for you. You can always email us, kgnorganics at gmail.com. So kgnorganics@gmail.com. I don't accept Facebook requests, just so you all know. My Facebook request, my page is private for my friends and family only. So I don't accept any requests. But you can obviously go to my business pages, which would be KGN Organics on Facebook, or the Kitchen Goddess Nina also on Facebook. Those are my pages, and you can get a hold of me there. That's no problem.
Yeah, Jeff was saying the spirit said enough.
Yeah, they were tired. They're like, all right, we're done.
Yeah, we're done. Debbie asked for prayers and healing for the baby. She's in the hospital. She's been in the hospital, very sick.
Okay.
So definitely,
definitely.
Debbie.
Absolutely, Debbie.
All right, everybody. Well, Nina, thank you for coming on, and it was great. We had some great questions and comments tonight in the show, and it'll be on YouTube again, probably towards the end of the week. Saturday, I'll be at a pig roast, having fun. So yeah, I'm gonna have some fun and do readings, and
I'll be working.
well, I'll be working too, but I'll be at the pig roast.
Yeah, that's more fun than what I'm doing. I'd rather go to a pig roast.
I know. I'm gonna see if I can get that tattoo done. I'm gonna see if I can get that tattoo done too.
Yeah,
cool. Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah.
See if I can do it. But Jeff said thank you, Debbie's blowing kisses, and just thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming on, and we would probably go later, but I think I'm a little tired. She's a little tired, and
yeah. And so Renee, just so if anyone's listening, because this is going to be, if they want to watch the whole broadcast on the candle magic and spells, where is it going to be? On your YouTube page, also Facebook, right?
It's going to be on my personal Facebook page. It's going to be on the Renee Live Facebook page, and it's going to be on my YouTube channel, which is Angelic Comfort on YouTube.
Now, would I be able to share it on my page as well if anybody wants to see the whole broadcast? Okay, so just let me know, and then I'll share it for anybody that missed it tonight. Because I know that we did go over a lot of really great stuff on, like I said, candle magic and spells. And I know some people are tuning in now, and they really missed a lot of information about it. So I just want to make sure that they can access that information. If somebody asks me, I can, direct them to where they need to go.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And you'll get your own copy of the show too after I edit it. But this here is going to be on Facebook. I won't delete this.
Okay.
What I do is download it and then put it with the theme music and everything else to put it on YouTube, and then that link is going to be all over the place too. So
okay, great. Yeah. Sounds wonderful.
You can catch it on my Angelic Comfort page, Angelic Comfort by Renee Marie, Renee Live page, and the YouTube page, this personal page. It'll be all over. Nina's page, KGN Organics, and so. And
KGN Organics and the Kitchen Goddess Nina.
Yes.
Facebook pages.
Yep. Next week on Tuesday night, I have Linda Marie Johnston. She's a master astrologer, and she's going to come on with us, and she's going to have some really great information for us. So she's one of my other soul sisters, and you're going to love listening to her. She's out in California. So she'll be on with us on Tuesday night. And today's what? What's today's date? The 17th, so it'll be the 24th. So
cool.
All right, everybody. Nina, I love you, and thank you so much for coming.
Love you too. Thank you, and thank you everyone for listening in. I hope that you got some really good, valuable information tonight.
Definitely. Thank you, everybody. Namaste and much love to you all. Good night.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Good night.